Well, it's a pleasure to welcome on board, of course, David Smith, Director and Founder of Dunstan Horsefeeds. David, thank you so much for your time. And the wonderful news is not only do we have harness racing back for one night this week at Addington, but two, and Dunstan has come on board as sponsor.
Yeah, isn't that great news for harness racing and racing in general, Jess, so that's very good. And, we're very pleased just to be able to continue our support into the harness world that we've been getting more and more involved in over the last 2 or 3 or 4 years.
Oh, exactly. And I noticed that, as you say, Dunstan has been very active in the sponsorship side of things in harness racing, not only for racing, David, but for life after racing too, because that is a really important part of the industry.
It is for both codes, and I suppose as feed manufacturers, we're all about feeding the horses, although the company sort of founded on racing and then went to breeding, and now that sport horse range has sort of come in behind. So the life after racing is pretty important to not only to the horse itself, but to our part of the industry as well.
Most certainly. And I noticed that Dunstan has a very rich history of obviously being the founder. You were there right at the beginning. Where did it all start, David? Where did the idea for Dunstan come from?
Oh, well, it really just happened. There was a gentleman was making a little bit of stock food out in West Auckland in Taupaki. He was actually a pig farmer and started to supply cereals to a few of the locals. And then he and a friend of his, who was my boss at the time in an animal health company, decided to buy some extruders and get into the pet food industry. Once they were getting that up and going, they thought, well, there's a real opening in the equine side of things. Neither of them had knowledge or an interest in it, and they knew that I did, so they just came and approached me and asked if I'd like to be part of it and come along for the ride, and that's what happened.
And the rest is history. Obviously, there's a lot of science that goes into it, David, because I was having a look at your website and you're right. It's easy to feed a horse, but knowing the right thing, you really do need the experts on board, don't you?
You do, and we're fortunate that over the years we've only had, in 34 years, we've only had 2 nutritionists, and Gretel Weber is very involved in the game and especially harness racing. So she's the brains behind it as we speak.
Wonderful. Well, David, thank you so much for your time. I know you and your team are very busy, but we're very grateful for your support of the meetings at Addington, and long may that association continue.
We're certainly keen for it to continue, Jess, and wishing Addington all the best for Thursday and Friday, and to all the participants over the forthcoming season, all the best, and we hope to catch up with you around the traps.